Hi everyone, it's Miss Mark. I am going to read you guys a fun little story about shadows, since we are talking about shadows and reflections in this unit. And we are also going to do a fun activity after I read the story. All right, let's begin. Puppets can also make fun shadows. In this book, you'll discover how to make different shadow puppets with your hands and with sticks. You will learn how to use them too. Then you can perform a shadow puppet show to your friends. Shadow puppets are easy to make. Your hands can be a shadow puppet. You can use your hands to make many different shadows. This shadow looks like a bird. How to make hand puppets. Shine the flashlight on the wall. It should be about 6 feet from the wall. Choose an animal to make. Hold your hands out in front of the wall. Follow the steps to make the animal. Making a spider. Cross one hand over and other to make the spider's legs. Wiggle your fingers to move the legs. Making a dog. Bend your first finger to make the dog's eye. Point your thumb up to make the dog's ear. Move your little finger up and down to make the dog bark. Making a swan. Bend one arm, hold your other hand across the bend to make the swan's feathers. Bend your first finger to make the swan's eye. Use your thumb and fingers to make the swan open and shut its beak. Where does the shadow come from? A shadow forms when an object blocks light. When you put your hands in front of a flashlight, your hands block some of the light. The light can't move through your hand, so a shadow appears on the wall. Here's the light, your hands, and this is the shadow. You can make many other shadows with your hands. Can you figure out how to make shadows below? See other hand puppets you can make. Here's a snail, a horse, and a panther. Stick puppets. Shadow puppets have helped people tell stories and entertain their friends for many years. People still use shadow puppets to tell stories. This shadow puppet is from Java, an island in Indonesia. Many shadow puppets have sticks attached to them. A puppeteer holds a stick to move the puppet in its shadow. Learn how to make a stick puppet of your own by reading the next pages. That's what we're going to do later. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you how to make a stick puppet in a little bit. Shine the flashlight on the wall from about 6 feet away. Hold the puppet between the flashlight and on the wall. Move the puppet towards the flashlight to make the shadow bigger. Move it away from the flashlight to make the shadow smaller. So if you move the puppet forward, it'll go the shadow will be bigger, and if you move away from the flashlight, it makes the shadow smaller. Okay? Why does the shadow change size? When the puppet moves toward the flashlight, the shadow gets larger. That's because the puppet blocks more light. When the puppet moves away from the flashlight, its shadow gets smaller. That's because the puppet blocks less light. So this puppet is far from the flashlight. Its shadow is small. Let's try it. Try moving the flashlight instead of the puppet. What happens when you move the flashlight towards the puppet? What happens when you move it away from the puppet? The puppet is close to the flashlight. Its shadow is large. See how big the shadow is? Put on a show. You can use your hand and stick puppets to put on a shadow puppet show. All right, so this is what we're going to be making. We're going to be making a shadow puppet. So use your puppets to tell a story. Ask a friend to perform with you, or ask a family member. That way you can include more puppets in the show. Perform the show in a dark room. It'll be easier to see the shadows on the wall. And of course, have fun. All right, so over here I have my cutouts of the shadow puppets. You will be getting these. You'll be getting a person, and you'll be also be getting a butterfly, and there's also a I believe a bunny rabbit. But this is what I'm going to be using for today. And as you can see, I am already cutting it out, and that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to finish cutting it out. Let me just put you down. Oh, and also, you will need a stick. I'm going to be using, if you don't have a stick, you can use a plastic spoon. I have a popsicle stick, so I am going to be using a popsicle stick. If you guys have popsicles at home, you guys can eat the popsicles and reuse the stick. And that's what we're going to be using for our stick. And then you also need tape. Tape to tape the puppet onto your utensil. All right. And then you also, of course, you will need a flashlight. And when we are done making our puppet, you'll have to turn the lights off so it's nice and dark, and we'll be using our flashlight to create the shadow. All right, let's finish cutting this out. Okay, let me just cut out the butterfly. And then I'll also be cutting out the person. And of course, have fun with it. You guys can decorate your person if you'd like. It really doesn't matter because it will be in the dark, but it would be fun if you guys can decorate it too, if you do put on a show. That would be fun. Okay, so here's my person, and here's my butterfly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some tape. And I'm going to tape my person onto the popsicle stick, just like that. I'll turn it around. I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, there's my person. And then I'm going to take some more tape, and I'm going to tape my butterfly onto the spoon. All right, so I have my butterfly and I have my person puppet. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the lights and let's put on a show. All right, so I'm going to leave this up. Let's turn on my flashlight. So I got my flashlight. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Shadow Show. All right, so here's my puppet, my person puppet. You can see how if I move it closer to the camera, remember the book, the story told us that it gets bigger, and then if I move it away from the camera, the puppet gets smaller. Here he is. Where's my butterfly? There it is. Isn't that cool? It was so easy to make, so fun to make. Like I said, you guys can decorate your person puppet, and you guys can decorate your butterfly, and you guys can put on a show. How fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this shadow making for you guys, shadow puppet making. I would love for you guys I would love to see your creations with these puppets, and yeah, have fun with it. Just so much fun, so easy to make. Very cool shadows. Bye, guys.